was like super busy times, like 3 or 4 days only interviews, and between interviews go to practice straight out, not even looking at the ramps. And I remember first practice I was going out with Ronaldo or Levi Sherwood, I don't remember. But anyway, I didn't even have time to ask how the ramps was set up. So like, okay, 9 ramp, 23, okay, yeah, okay, let's go. And then just out in a train. Of course, nowadays I'm used to it. It's like a normal thing, when we go for a show or competition. But that time I was like super, what if I crash him out? I have to go but train with him. It was like sketchy and not that much time to like calm down and think about things and watch the course and like this.
Oh man, today is a busy day in the home studio. I've just finished recording the latest EFMX World Championship round with Night of the Jumps and TIMX. This is motocross. So I've been commentating in the virtual world of video games, which has been so much fun to be honest, but I'd much rather be hosting the real World Championships inside a packed arena at Night of the Jumps with the esports as well. But I'm also stoked to be here and hosting this very series that you've tuned into right now, the Riders Lounge podcast. I'm Steve Sommerfeld. I'm just a washed up FMX rider who has too many harebrained schemes and not enough time in the day to make them all happen. And you can probably hear my voice is getting a little bit strained right now, but to be honest, the best medicine to fix that is actually a nice cold Tannen Zepfler alcohol-free beer from the Rothaus Brewery. You knew I was going to say that. But actually, I remember last year at almost every single event I was hosting, my voice was blown out. I was struggling so bad. Maybe it was a cold or whatever at every single round. And I had Troy Mannering on the phone, who hosts Red Bull X Fighters and Red Bull Crushed Ice. And he was giving me some tips on how to get through the 3 hours of commentating every night, because he was just too busy sharpening ice skating blades that he just didn't want to come and fill in for me. But it was that icy cold beer that I'm sure that helped me get through it then and somehow make it to the end. Just. Speaking of ice, I've been leaving my beers outside in the snow, and we made our first snowman ever a couple of days ago, and I left the snowman with a little mini keg of beer just for a laugh. But actually, you can win your own free mini keg of beer if you jump on the Riders Lounge podcast Instagram page and tag a friend who you think would like to listen to this podcast series, but also that you'd like to share an icy cold Tannen Zepfler keg with. Now, I've actually heard from a lot of you since the last couple of episodes, and I'm so stoked you're liking the content and interviews with completely different stories in action sports from different athletes. And one of the questions was to find out more on the social media side of things. So this all ties in so neatly and so perfectly with my new guest for today's episode, who knows more about ice and snow than almost any other freestyle rider in the world. He was also part of the qualifying round of the first EFMX World Championships, and I'm certain we'll see him actually riding in the real World Championship Series in the very near future. He was a fan favourite Novillero to win his spot at Red Bull X Fighters, and I was stoked to have ridden with him at shows in Russia, and we've since become good friends. He's one of the nice guys of the sport, and he's also completely mastered the YouTube algorithm with his annual video series, DIRTBIKE versus STREETBIKE. All the way from the freezing cold city of Turku in Finland, it's Sebastian Westberg. Are you on 4G or 5G there?
For 4G, still waiting for them. But I guess they got 5G already around. But okay, this is so much better. It's like over 50 mbs. Yeah. It's like 5 times. Ooh, 70. Almost 100. Whoa. Okay, let's run this. Hopefully the phone will work. No one call me.
Okay, let's go for this one. So this is about the fourth take.
Yeah.
Hopefully this internet works because like we said on the last three,
Yeah.
maybe the lines are frozen here in Germany and frozen there in Finland.
Yeah, but
Let's
I guess it's gonna work out, so we can start again, and let's try to rock it through now.
perfect. Let's
I'm
go.
I'm not in a rush. I have all the evening, so or
man,
all day.
we might need the whole day to get this thing done at this rate. Like, when did we start? An hour ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Far out. No, how is it up there in Finland? Where did you say you're from? Turku, the old capital?
Yeah, old capital of Finland. Yeah, nowadays it's Helsinki, but yeah, from the south part of Finland. So yeah, from the south, but it's not that warm than in south. You used to be. You're used to.
Damn.
It's cold. It's few degrees minus right now, and it's snowing now and then. But right now it's like dry weather, and I think it's the first day in 1 month I see the sun. So
Wow.
it's kind of a good day to sit inside.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Should we cut this interview actually now so you can go outside and enjoy the good day for a change? Sorry. Oh man. So it is freezing cold. Have you already started getting the freestyle compound ready for winter?
Yeah, actually, right just a few weeks ago, I put the rubber mats on the ramps and in run because, as you maybe know, I had my shoulder is fractured and I ripped some ligaments like 1.5 months ago. So when I went to the doctor, he said that try to take it easy for a few months and you can start riding in January again. So I'm really looking forward to it. So that's why I put the rubber mats on the ramp, and hopefully there will be some cold weather to get some snow and be able to ride with the spikes soon.
Hang on, what? Hopefully it's cold weather and you get snow so you can ride. You're actually looking forward to cold weather.
We're from Finland, so it's everything between rain and snow. So right now, when we don't got the freezing cold and snow yet, it's just wet and rainy. So you can't ride with normal summer tires, but you can ride with spikes. But it's not good for the spikes neither. And they're pretty expensive tires also. So you're waiting to the ground to freeze and get a little bit snow on the ground. So then it's better to ride.
Wow. Okay, I have never done that before. I definitely do not want to try that. So how does it work? You have to put the rubber over the ramp and all along the run up. I'm guessing you're fixing it in place somehow on the ramp, and then it just covers the whole thing, like just one big long piece of rubber.
Yeah. I like a normal in-run, like 20-25 meters of in-run, like a rubber mat, and then of course same rubber on the ramp, and then it's like 1 centimeters thick, so then you have a super good grip on the tires. It's actually better than with the summer tires on the dirt ground. Wow. So yeah, but it's more heavy in the air, like flip bricks and stuff. It's more sketchy for sure.
Okay, so the bike has to work harder. Obviously the spikes are digging into the rubber, the motor has to work harder to jump.
Exactly. You have to go a little bit faster, and also remember, like in flip bricks, you have to pull harder to make it around. But otherwise, wow. It's good. But doing shows and stuff, you're freezing in your, I would say, balls with fingers in minus 20, 30 degrees, mid of the winter, doing shows in like a ski center or something. So that's where it gets hard.
Oh, I bet it does. Whoa, minus 30 shows. How many of those do you do in a year?
There used to be from 1 to 6 shows, like in the super cold weather. Depends of the year. Of course, you never know now from the next year when we got this virus around. But hopefully we got some cool shows in the winter too. And always the pictures is so sick because we don't have that much daylight in the wintertime. Or actually never in Finland. But the pictures is super sick because all the ground and everything is white. so you can see the bike and trick super good.
That's
and even better with effects.
Yeah, man, that's so crazy. So, I've heard a couple of guys actually say they've tried out the spikes and the rubber and all that sort of stuff. I guess the biggest problem you would have, imagine you get a call. Oh no, sorry, you said you wanted to go to Spain already for this
For
year.
sure.
So
I'm waiting to
if you
ride
go
with
to
summer tires. Yeah. And after my shoulder injury, also like would be more nice to start riding with summer tires. But I guess we don't have any flights to Spain because we're taking so carefully this virus thing in Finland. So it's super hard to get there. I got like Norwegian flights. They canceled it already 4 times. I always change them forward, and right now it shows that the first flights goes in April next year. So
no
I would
way.
like to go in January, but it's super hard to get out from here behind the seats.
So you've just so now your winter's wasted for the Spanish winter of riding, which most Northern European guys do. So
Yeah,
I guess you better get used to those spikes then. Do you buy the spikes? The tires come like that, or are you putting the spikes?
Actually, I got Mitas spike tires, and my sponsor Motorengas, who is like retailing them in Finland, they are building it by hand. So it's handmade tires with the spikes. So they made it good for me. So on the side of the tires, the spikes is not that long than in the middle, so they don't scrape the rear end of the bike. So that's pretty good. And I always like to ride them. And you can do more than one season with the spikes because they are, handmade is always better for sure when they know what they're doing. Actually, I did my first backflip with spike tires, not in the snow and freeze, but it was so muddy. Like it was like around New Year 2013 or 14. So I did super kicker backflip because I needed to ride with spikes because it was so muddy. So
wow.
there is a...
So your first ever backflip to dirt?
Yeah, super kicker backflip, or dirt to mud, I guess it was.
Sorry, to mud.
Yeah, on a landing, but mud. Yeah.
Wow. And had you planned on, obviously good weather? You're training in the foam pit. You're about to go to dirt, and then I'm guessing it's just rained like hell. And you went, I'm going to stick my spike tires on to get this job done.
Actually, the funny thing was that we didn't have any foam pits in Finland that time, so we just went straight to dirt. My cousin Hanna was filming, and my dad was checking around if I crash or something. So it was like always, the days when you're trying to learn something new, you got the good feeling, and then we go for it. So yeah.
Wow. That is
but
impressive.
Then year later, I went first time to Spain to the Lledes Park, and there, of course, did my first long distance backflip. But I also smashed my head on the first try there. But in the end, in few days, I landed. So that was kind of more easy to do it on long distance and without spike tires.
Yeah, I can imagine it would be.
Yeah.
Oh man, so
good old times.
Yeah, the good old days. Wow. So right now, I guess not many shows have happened, just like everybody else. But actually, I just saw on the weekend in your neighboring country in Russia, the Furs guys and the Russians did the ProRiv show in Moscow, a show I've actually done before as well. I was surprised not to see your name, but obviously you've got a fractured shoulder. So
I was texting with Rasmus Johansson, an FSX rider from Sweden, just a few days ago, when I asked him if he would come for a coffee here. Is he going through Turku or the north of Finland? Because he was going driving with with a van and sled with him. So I was just talking with him, and where is he going when he said the next Finland and then Russia. So he told about the show, and then I was also talking later with the Russian guys, like surprised that they are organizing this kind of big events. So that's kind of cool. I don't know if it's safe, but it's cool that it's happening something and the riders can go to ride.
Yeah, exactly. Like I loved it. That was my first ever show that I did in Russia. It was in the middle of winter, I think in March, maybe 2015 or 16. And that was crazy driving there in the snow and how freaking cold it was. Obviously the event's indoors, which is good. But actually I saw this time I think they didn't have much of a crowd. I think maybe they did like a huge social distancing crowd. So
Yeah, and it
I think it
wasn't the
was mainly
place.
for streams.
Wasn't the place the same where we rode 2016? We both in front of the Olympic Stadium. This was inside,
Yeah,
I guess.
I think so. Yeah. So no, I was half expecting to see you there just because your neighbours and you
Yeah,
want to go see the Red Square like we saw about 15 times.
yeah, we know already what's that. Yeah,
No, and actually, and you were up against Nick Ivankov even in the TIMX competition, but Nick had about 100 and more votes against you on that game.
I'm hoping for the wild card up there to get to
Wild
smoke
card.
him.
No, I guess you do a lot of shows in Russia, and
Yeah, actually
because
been there already 2014 with Sandy Medved and Martin Schenk, and that was like where actually my like professional career started, when I saw someone flipping live and like doing long distance flips. So then already we lived like 1 month doing shows around there with three. And then
Wow.
later 2016, and actually I was last year in August also somewhere north in what was the name again? I don't even remember, but somewhere in middle of nowhere. We were also driving like 500 kilometers with my truck without any signal and knowing if we're gonna get there with a like paper map. So, but
Oh,
in the
no
end, we
way.
made it there, did the show, and when we came to the city, we got signals. And then again, when we went home, 400 kilometers without signal to Finland side, and then we got signal and got home safe. But yeah,
That's so crazy. But I guess the good thing is once you cross into Russia, the fuel's cheap in
yeah,
the truck.
it's super cheap against Finland at least.
So is freestyle a big thing in Finland? Are you the only rider there, or what's the scene like?
I would say that I'm the only one doing it professional and riding abroad, but we got good like young dudes, and I'm trying to like catch everyone together every year on my own event. Like it's like a fun competition at my compound. It's like every summer. I invite all the riders from Finland who want to come for like 2 to 3 days sessions, and then I have a small 500 people's like open event there to sell tickets. And there's a little bit like other program, and then we have like best run, best whip, and best combo competitions and stuff like this. Just fun for the riders, and used to also invite my friends from abroad. Like there have been friends from Russia, Spain, Latvia, and yeah, kind of from everywhere, like the pro riders to meet the Finnish riders, and also Finnish riders see the level what's freestyle in Europe. You can, if you're just watching my riding, it's not, I think it's always better to have better riders around you than you like involving your tricks and learning.
Exactly. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And it's always good to have other influences there anyway. How is it to put your own events on? Is it a big job? I mean, it's at your training compound, but a lot goes into it, I'm guessing.
Yeah, for sure. It's many months work always. Even I've done it already, I think four summers. It's a lot of work for sure, but I'm doing it on the side of all the practice and other shows. And I always feel I'm like, it's so much motivation to do this event, because I see how much the riders and the audience is enjoying the event, because it's kind of like there's like a lifestyle spirit around it. And then we have a camping for riders and all the workers, and just hitting the sauna and swimming in the sea. And then of course there's after party afterwards. And that's like going to the roots, where when you're looking to the old freestyle motocross movies and stuff. So people are like having fun together, but then first we do the riding in the event, and of course the sessions before, and have fun together, and then we have fun afterwards. So
Nice.
and of course the other riders from abroad enjoy, because Finland is so different. It's like what they say to me, at least they feel it's clean, and it's crazy that we can take a boat to the after party place from our basement or place. So that's kind of like different stuff.
Man, I'm going to have to get up there.
It's like imagine the place where I come from, the small village named Särkisalo, Finby, where my compound also is. I was moving until I was 15 years old with a ferry every day to school and basketball practice and stuff like this. So I'm like a real countryside cowboy.
Wow.
It's far away from everything. Nowadays, of course, I have the apartment here in the city, but I'm driving many times in a week there just to work on the compound and practicing and doing all the stuff because I got all my bikes and gear and stuff there.
Will you go back to the countryside and live?
I would like to, but wait, I will close the door a little bit more so Sophia don't hear it. But yeah, I would like to do it. yeah, for sure. Yeah, but I think in the future to build a summer house there. My parents and sister is still living there, and actually my 94 years old grandmother. So it's always cool to go there and grab a coffee and then work or practice on the compound rest of the day.
Man, that's really cool. No, I did the same. I lived in the middle of Brisbane in Australia for like 10 years, but I did it because I had to. I went there for university. But it was never really home. Like I just wanted to get back out and go back into the countryside.
Yeah, but that's how I stayed here also. I was studying to a construction foreman, and when I did the school, so I met Sophia, and then she's not that much a countryside girl, so we stayed here. I can also drive back there to do my stuff. So, and also to do all the sponsor stuff and getting ready for events and stuff. It doesn't bother me to be sitting on a computer here in the city, so it's okay for me. In the summer, I can be kind of live there all the summer anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if you're riding all the time, then it makes sense to be there. Well, actually, I was looking through some YouTube videos, and I saw one of you test jumping. It was at the time a new landing. What's the team called? Säkkinen team, something like that. And it was a mobile landing, maybe 2013. There was hardly any supports in this ramp or in the landing. There's no airbag, and your first jump, you completely overjumped it.
Was the testing of our first mobile landing. Yeah, I think, because that was our channel together. The name was Team Salo Freestyle. That time we got this team. Actually, we still got the team together with the professional stunt rider, Niko Säkkinen, who is also like living near to me. And we have been working together from 2012 or something. But this mobile landing, we didn't even know how to build one. We just knew how the landings and everything should be. And we need this to start doing shows in our own country. So we built one. And, few years later, after the few first shows, I guess some guy from abroad sent me a message on Facebook that, dude, you need an airbag there. And, I didn't even think about it that time. It sounds stupid, but, because we have been like trying to figure out everything by our own, how to do our sports and stuff, and just watching YouTube and trying to understand how everything works out before, meeting other riders. So, yeah, I can feel you when you watch these videos, like how stupid it is. But
not stupid.
But we're making it working.
Yeah, it just looks so crazy. And I saw you just catch the landing on the first jump, and I don't know how you didn't break your ankles. Maybe you did. I don't know.
No, I just smashed my hand in the handlebars. I think I know what we do, you mean.
So the reason I was looking for your videos on YouTube, because there was one, I guess, that got you. Was it YouTube that got you there? I'm just going to ask you about it because I guess this is where most people know your name from when it came out very, in a big way, was Red Bull X Fighters. What year was it? 2016?
2016,
Novillero. You were the fan vote Novillero, is that right?
Yeah. Actually, I remember I was that time when I knew I was chosen to the competition to compete there. I was in south of France doing a show with a sled guy from Finland and got a call that, damn, you won the voting. You're going to X Fighters. I was like, what? Just 2 years ago, I was in Russia with Martin Schenk watching it from TV. Like, not even thinking about to ride there. But like, of course, was a dream always. But yeah.
How did that happen? Because I remember it was the fan vote, and I remember seeing all these names coming up, and your name was just consistently on top. Maybe it was 1 week or 2 weeks or something like that, where people had to vote, and your name just kept getting more and more votes.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to find the video. I remember with Mark Pignol, my friend from Spain at the Ades, he filmed with a phone most of the jumps, and then did it. When I saw all my age riders film the clip and put it on the page, and was okay. Let's put this. Here's some. There was some jumps to the foam bit, and also some dirt jumps, and like some cool phone clips. Put them together and. Let's see, I'm starting to get votes, but okay, let's share it on my social medias, actually Instagram and Facebook mainly. And then in the end, when, like, I don't know, was it my fans, friends, but everyone started to share it and like I think it was called Red Bull, but they were thinking this is a big thing. Even they didn't know what is it about, you know?
Yeah.
And then people just started sharing it, and I don't remember it was me or two more, like in the top, who had so much more votes than many of the guys. Then I think people just saw a possibility to go in. So I started feeling like from Europe, people I didn't even know started to write me that, we want you to win of these 2 or 3 guys, I don't remember. So I was like feeling like, what? Where did they even find me? So of course, from the Red Bull side, and they were thinking, who is good to go there? This is maybe, guy no one knew in that time. So maybe that's why the guys who didn't even know me also went to my side. And I guess we also got good promotion from my social medias like Facebook and Instagram that time. But that time the YouTube wasn't that big. This came like the later years when we started doing like viral projects here.
Yeah.
But I don't know what was the main thing.
Yeah. Yeah, like I remember just watching like Seb Westberg. I've never heard of this name, but I guess I was in that same boat of I had to click on your name and see who the hell is this guy.
Yeah.
And then you won, and I was like, whoa, okay. And I mean, the video was, you said it wasn't that good, but I quite liked your videos anyway.
Actually, I didn't even find it on my YouTube here when I searching, but I know it's somewhere here.
And so you've won the vote to get in. That's kind of let's say the easy part.
Yeah.
The hard part is actually getting there and doing it all. What was the feeling like just arriving at Plaza de Toros in Madrid with all your heroes?
I remember I left Finland. I left my cripples to my dad when he took me and Sofia, because Sofia came there because, they paid the extra flight ticket for a mechanic. I don't have a mechanic. I'm doing everything by myself. So I was, okay, Sofia, come with me to Madrid. There's a small competition if you want to join me. And she didn't know that much that time. But I was practicing flares to the foam pit. So I broke my ankle the evening before, just jumping off the bike, super stupid, jumping to the air and landing on a bike. So we went straight from the doctor. Yeah. We went right from the doctor to the airport, and my dad said that, you think you can go with cripples to a competition of Red Bull? I guess if you leave those cripples, I can believe you can also ride them like something like this. And we left them. And I remember when we were sitting in Finnish fly, we got like 3 seats. For me and Sofia, we asked if we could lift the leg up there, and if the girls could bring us some ice, and she was holding all the 4 hours fly the ice there, so I could get my skate shoe back on the foot. And same was between all the practice and riding at Plaza del Toros was Sophia was keeping eyes on my legs to get it back on the riding boots. And I guess nobody actually knew about this, that I broke the ankle before. But I can later on the videos and pictures, I can really see it because I didn't have the good stretching on the tricks and stuff like this. So, wasn't, but was like a good thing that I could in the end ride in the event. So that's what I'm happy for.
Yeah, exactly. You got there, you made it happen, even with a broken leg the day before. I'm blown away. I didn't even know that. So
yeah, I think I never. It wasn't the Finnish media, but I guess it was better for me also that people don't know there, so they don't get that much scared. I guess pretty many was also scared to see me riding there. So, but I was just enjoying it. It was just when you took the boots out, you had to take care that you get the leg back in the boots again. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think every freestyle rider knows the feeling when you break something, you're under the adrenaline and thinking like, this is not stopping me if I can walk.
That's so crazy. Well done, man. As the Novillero, what actually happens during the week leading into X Fighters? Because I've been there a couple of times, but I'm only there to help, when I was helping Sheeny or Clinton or just there. But from a rider's point of view, and it was your first time, how was that week?
I have to say that me and Tom both talked about it later. Was like, I think because they started, this was the first year for the Novilleros. We were like, people, all the interviews and stuff, you're new, you need new photos to the Red Bull sites and clips and stuff like that. And a lot of more interviews than to the top guys or the guys who have been riding their years already. So was like super busy times, like 3 or 4 days only interviews, and between interviews go to practice straight out, not even looking at the ramps. And I remember first practice I was going out with Ronaldo or Levi Sherwood, I don't remember. But anyway, I didn't even have time to ask how the ramps was set up. So like, okay, 9 ramp, 23, okay, yeah, okay, let's go. And then just out in a train. Of course, nowadays I'm used to it. It's like a normal thing, when we go for a show or competition. But that time I was like super, what if I crash him out? I have to go but train with him, was like sketchy and not that much time to like calm down and think about things and watch the course and like this. So we got a lot of interviews and like doing the media thing.
Wow, what a trial by fire.
But I have to say, like, from the event side, they were like taking good care of us, of course, but that was like super busy. So I think I would, with all this stuff around this, like, and the ankle and everything, I would enjoy to go there again. I had fun riding and fun in the event and meeting all the people, but I guess then we would have more time to enjoy it. Even it's our work, of course.
Exactly. It is your job. It's what you're training to do to get there. Like you said, a lot of that media, not much time for training by the sounds of it, but I guess you've just got to do it and get the job done.
Yeah.
But it does sound good. Did you get to do some touristy things as well? Did you get to check out? I guess you've been to Spain before. So
yeah, too much in Spain, and actually done some shows in Madrid before also. But actually, we didn't do anything because I couldn't, or I didn't want to walk with my leg just in the event, just kind of pretending everything is okay, rushing from place to another. So just after the event was the first thing we did. We went to a water park with all the friends who came there to watch me riding there. And even actually my mom and dad. My mom have never been in any of my events or competitions because I don't know if she's scared or what, but my compound is next to her greenhouse and she never comes to my compound to watch any jumps. But she flew with my dad there for the evening, was the event, and then they went back to Finland today because they have to take care of my grandmother. But, they went there to watch it, and it's like kind of cool that my mom came to the world's biggest freestyle motocross event to watch me ride first time. Even that's I'm riding almost every day next to his greenhouse. That's kind of funny.
So crazy. Yeah, actually, my dad was the same. My mum watched That was not a problem, but my dad never, not once, watched me ride freestyle.
But I guess we understand them, so.
Yeah, exactly. So what was your favorite part of that entire event? Like, you put all your tricks together as good as you could with a broken leg. What was the one moment that you'll always remember, I guess, from that Red Bull X Fighters?
I have to be honest that I think the coolest thing was like going for the main run in the main event, like coming out from the tunnel. That was for sure. Then the next, if I have to choose another one, is like after I did the run, came back to the pit, and some of my friends, I think it was Sophia or someone, gave me a Finnish flag. And like then I understood that, no one from Finland ever rode in this event. So it was like super cool to make like kind of history in Finnish motorsport, to be the first one. And then I was like repeating everything what happened the last days and thinking like, damn, I made it, even I wasn't the winner of the event. I was, I was winning myself to be able to ride in this event. So yeah, I think that's the two coolest, going into the run and going out from the run in the main event.
Surviving. You probably didn't even breathe in the middle of that. There was probably 90 seconds or 2 minutes where you probably didn't even take a breath.
Yeah, when I watch afterwards, I'm like, I remember I was enjoying the riding, but, so slow on the course and everything. Like, I could do it, I think I could do better tomorrow with this broken shoulder. But, it was fun, and it's like a milestone in my career. So that's cool.
That's awesome. Do you think with that, obviously your name really got out there, that completely changed your direction in freestyle motocross?
Yeah, for sure. And I also saw like the real professional side of it. That like also easy for me behind the scenes from Finland, watching up to something, when I see it live. I mean, the other riders, the event, everything. Like, you're growing when you do this stuff.
Yeah, man, it is awesome. It's good to see that from that point where you've got to now. Maybe that wouldn't have happened if you didn't do X Fighters. Maybe it would have.
I got a lot of like motivation. Of course, good shows and a few competitions later also, and landing my first front flip the year after, and like, it has much to do in my career for sure. And also, like you said, you never heard about me, and now we have done some shows together and texting once in a month at least, and that's cool for sure.
Exactly. Now I can say I've got a friend from Finland. Like, I would never have thought of that before. Actually, no, I've got two. The web designer for Lakes Networking who sponsored me.
Yeah.
He was living in Australia, but he's actually Finnish as well. He probably,
really?
I don't know. You probably know him. There's not that many people up there, right?
Not that much.
No, exactly. One big thing though, that this, probably the main reason I wanted to talk to you this week is you've just released your new YouTube video, and you were talking about this just before about the viral videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
Dirt bike versus street bike number 4 has just come out. But to give everyone a bit of an idea, you've got 125,000 subscribers on YouTube. The second video you did of this, there's now 4 in the series, but the second video is almost 20 million views. The third one was 11 million, and this one is already 250,000 views. What the hell is going on in Finland?
Actually, the funny thing is that it's not going, the video is going around in Finland, but it's viral around the world. So that's pretty cool. This is also with a friend, Niko Säkkinen, the stunt rider. And to be honest, most of this thing is about that he's such a good and cool rider on this street bike, going everywhere that no one else has gone. And also later has seen so many people trying to copy this idea of the dirt bike and street bike and not even reaching to these views. So that's cool that we could be the first to do this dirt bike or street bike. Like, it's not only riding, it's kind of, it's like 3 to 6 minutes riding clip, but mixed with some kind of comedy. So there's like intro and outro, like with a small story. And this is like fully like side projects for us, but we're trying to do one new clip every year. And that's why we just released a few weeks, or I think it's 4 weeks ago already, the last one, and trying to go around Finland in different places where no one has been riding with motorcycles. But of course, this is not the illegal style. We got all the papers to ride in all these places, like in the second one on the fields and jumping our some buildings at my home yard. And then in the 3.0 we went to a ski center and like my first schoolyard with the kids and stuff, like just going to places that no one have been at with the dirt bike or street bike. So like trying to make a clip that everyone likes without even being interested about dirt bikes or street bikes, mix it with the comedy.
That's awesome. So you've actually done the hard work to get all the permissions. That's blowing me away.
Yeah, but of course it's about marketing and our social medias also. But like the filmer editor Niko Säkkinen, he's making a good work with this. He has been filming and editing all of this. But then I used to, in winter time when I have more time, I used to strip them and think about all the places and make like the papers that we can write and film there the next year again to make it like a good story. The main thing in this that it's story from start to the end, and then hopefully people enjoy them.
That's cool. So what's this fourth one about? Just as I watched it the other day, it looks like it's you're basically daydreaming. Is that the idea? You're daydreaming in summer and then the story starts.
The lazy workers start to sleep when waiting for the ferry. Actually, this is that kind of ferry I was traveling with until I was 15 years old. Yeah, like in this movie, the fourth one was like the idea that we're riding around on island, because I'm from Ireland also, so wanted to script it like the feeling. Actually, just the first clip going with the ferry, where we're driving or riding up or out from the ferry. So that's the only part where we go to the island. Then rest of the clips is filmed there, and then we're trying to connect them. We're like visiting let's see, there is a beach near us, there is this hunting house near my parents' place, few jumps at my friend's compound, the broken old greenhouse at my friend's parents' place, and then there is a downhill park near us.
Yeah, that looked really good.
Yeah, it's actually new. I wanted to connect this because it's the same place, but in summertime than in a 3.0. So it's the the slopes, but it's in the summertime because I got like 2 half friends who started a business there. So I wanted to connect this to the video, just also for a cool place for our video, but also to help and promote them, It
looks awesome. And how does it feel to be riding? You're on your 450 and Niko's on, what's he riding? Is it
He's riding a 636 Kawasaki Ninja, or Jet X. So yeah, it's 600.
And how does that work? Like, do you have to slow down a little bit to let him keep up, or is he pretty much on point?
I have to slow. It's so hard in the MTB slopes. I have to go so slow with the dirt bike. For him, it's super hard, of course. But then on asphalt and street roads, I guess he's going faster if we try. But like I said, this video, we're trying to make it like looking somehow cool, and the story is more likely these guys is riding through these places, even it's versus dirt bike versus street bike. But to make it like a good short comedy clip.
Exactly. Throw some mountain bikers in the middle of it.
Not that many crazy tricks in this video, but there is the story which we tried to make from start to the end.
Yeah, exactly. No, it looked awesome. So if you're listening to this podcast, load up the video straight away, because as soon as you're finishing listening to this, you got to watch it. It's pretty awesome. And actually watch all 4 of them. They're so good.
Yeah, you find it easily on my YouTube on Seb FMX. So
perfect. And actually, for me, I guess the probably the one thing I remember the most from your clips was that the ice one where you basically cut a circle in the ice on a lake and you were spinning it around with the back wheel. Like, man, I don't know anything about snow and ice and winter, but that seemed like a pretty bad idea, but it looked awesome.
I was, before this 3 or 4 seconds clip, I was 4 hours with the chainsaw doing this circle to get it running when Niko was
really
doing wheelies on it. And it was like, this is also like crazy to say, but it made sense in the end to make this ice carousel and doing the wheelie on it. It's not that crazy as a trick, but like 1 year before I scripted this movie, my dad did one. I remember I was practicing with Mark at Yades Park, and my dad sent me a video. Look at this! I saw on a newspaper that someone did an ice carousel. I did one here in our own beach, like own one, and they were like ice skating there with my sister and mom. So I was like, okay, damn, can I put it on my Instagram? And I saw like it's getting so many views from my followers, even there was not a dirt bike. And that there is the place where I scripted it, when you're doing a new movie, I write it down, I make ice carousel, this is a viral thing. And then I try just to collect them together to a movie, and make a story around it. So that's how, it's all the time thinking, like in everything, events, you're trying to collect the good things and cancel or take out the bad things.
Man, it looks so cool. I guess because it's so different. You see a dirt bike in the dirt. You see a street bike on the street. You don't see them going around in circles on a little ice carousel in the middle of a lake. It looked awesome. So do you just sit there in the middle of your long winters, when there's no sun, and you're just thinking of the next idea for the next year? Is that how it works, or does it just come to you in an instant?
It's like, in the winter time when I just got an idea, write it down, and when I see a long list, then I start to script it to a movie. And then maybe it's changed later again, and I get some better ideas, take out the bad ideas, but it takes time. And then you also need the luck to make it a good one,
How much time do you put into making these 3 to 6 minute videos? Like, is this a month or 2 months?
From film, scripting is hard to say, it takes too long, but filming is from 3 to 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
Like used to be in a row is if we have enough good weather that every day looks same. But then editing is maybe that's like 2 full days Niko is doing it, but it's good. It's also easier to edit when he's filming and like going after the script, so you don't have to think on the table at what comes now, or like what clips should we use here. He just have the good clips to connect them. So the work is actually like the biggest work is done, the scripting, writing, filming, and then he collects this together again.
Perfect. And then once the episode,
but I would say like it's hard to get back the money or time you're putting to these videos, but it's always like I say to you that everything is coming together when you're trying to write good, practicing, having different social medias. YouTube is one of them, so everything is making each other stronger, so it's like one of these projects I try to do every year, at least try, but it's not the must do a shitty video if you don't have good ideas,
Yeah, no, that's definitely a fair call. What would then be, what's your secret to this YouTube success? Is it the content of what you're doing, or are you doing something special with promotion? I know you put in some time with promotion.
Mm.
What do you think is the real success to it?
I see like with the viral projects is the idea, and then it comes together with the high quality, of course, when you're doing it like a movie. So that's important to me. And I like, it's mainly vlogs or like send it big riding clips. I know already they are not reaching like a lot of people from outside the box.
Yeah.
But also this is super important to keep up the level and show that we're not, it's not our main thing to do these videos, but this is to spread our names and medias also to people who are not that into to follow your Instagram, which is only about riding pictures and practice, because you can look it like a movie.
Yeah.
Or watch it.
Yeah, fair enough. So it's more that it's this crossover discipline. Everybody can understand it. And that would be the obviously the secret to your success.
Yeah, but I have to be honest, like the one thing I don't understand, like mainly like the millions of views of like Tom Paches is, in my eyes, he's one of the best riders in the world, but he does a full send freestyle motocross video with the best tricks in the world.
Yeah.
And he makes views with this. I know I would like to say that I think he's the only one in the world who can do this full send video, which is also entertaining, and it looks like also people from outside the interests are looking at, it's not a story, it's just the hard tricks, and I love to watch it, and like so hardcore to see these clips, but I don't know how he did it or how the people who edited or promoted it, how they made it.
Yeah.
Without the story,
How
That's super
just
cool.
Pure freestyle can actually translate to everybody else to get those huge amount of views.
Yeah, when I do my all-in clips, I think maybe I can get, if I want to try, I can maybe get 10,000 views on it. But then if I want to have more, I have to have a story that someone else can also watch, that who is not into motorcycles, but watch it for the story, then it spreads more.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying, at least.
Fair call. Well, I guess then to think about going viral, can I just call this podcast episode Seb Westberg Street Bike versus Dirt Bike podcast? Do you think that'll help people find this interview on a podcast app or, to listen?
Could be.
All right, done. It wasn't the biggest recommendation from you, but I'm going to do it. Let's see if I can snag some.
Actually, nowadays the algorithms are using less and less the hashtags, because people started to do more and more of them, like having like hundreds of thousands of them after each other. So I think like the important of the hashtags is not that much anymore.
Okay.
It's harder to promote stuff. You really have to have good content, and people like they have to watch it as long as possible, so then they share it. And right now, I think I haven't watched it in 1 week, but I think it's like all the people who watch the new DIRTBIKE vs STREETBIKE is watching over 50% of it, and that's a super good percent, because if you think someone opens it and don't give a fuck of watching it, he closes it, and then the time goes.
You get all these 3-second views, but you don't get 1 minute views or the full video.
So that means pretty many watches it to the end. So then the video has to be good. I'm just waiting it to explode.
Wow, it's another world. It's definitely another world. So I've got to remove like at least 50 of my hashtags from every post now.
I think it's not putting down it, but they don't have that much sense anymore than before. That's why if you look at the Instagram posts and people who have a lot of followers, they're actually not using that much hashtags anymore. I don't know if you have seen it, but they are just writing like longer texts. So the texts under the picture or video, it's like a longer story.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense, to be honest, because the text that goes in anyway, Google and YouTube and everyone that puts it all in and indexes that for searches, they're just using.
But I guess like it's so easy to read and study all this stuff when you're traveling and doing all the other stuff, like doing editing videos or something on a computer or traveling or flying. You can always read about social media, and it's I think it makes sense to study it a little bit and also understand why people watch and what they want to watch, because I feel like it's going more and more to the social media. So yeah, but of course I really look forward for January to start riding full again, but there comes the content with doing it, so that's cool.
That's it. No, that's awesome. Well, what is a day in the life of Sebastian Westberg? What does that look like? Are you trying to ride all day and that's all you're thinking about, or are you on the computer doing a lot of this work and sponsors and promo and thinking of ideas? What is a normal day?
Like right now, the last 2 months, it's pretty much running between the gym and office at home, or just having team meetings or real meetings with next year's sponsors. I'm trying to like figure out everything for January. And then just waiting to get to practice. If I'm not riding home, I'm traveling to Spain in January, and then there I'm like full-time freestyle bum, riding few or one time a day, every day, having maybe one break day in a week. But home, like summertime when we can ride full at home, I think it's like 2 sessions. Between that, I'm working on the compound and pretty much using all the daylight to be on the compound and practicing or welding some new ramps or stuff like this.
Man,
I'm also all the time following and waiting that Night of the Jumps gets back in real life also. We need to get the new ramps there, at the compound.
This is
to practice.
Exactly right. That's what we need to be doing. Man, you're just going to have to keep welding and just bring them all down on some trailers. That'd be awesome.
Exactly.
So one of those big things that, you're talking about with building ramps, I know you are not scared to try different tricks in the foam pit. You've landed front flips to dirt, and not even to dirt, onto your mobile landing.
Yes.
I saw the video of you. I think, was it the first front flip you did was at a show on the landing? And I think you might have even washed out a little bit on the landing. But
actually, the first event where I sent my front flip in an event was, I don't know, I have done it on 5 or 6 events already, I guess, front flip on mobile and dirt. But the first one in an event was home at SebFMX Fest, and it was kind of funny because no one of the riders even knew it, and I had think about it, like, okay, a few weeks ago, I did it to foam pit, why not?
Yeah.
And it was like no one knew about it. But then I put the cheater part on my ramp, and just in the end of the show I said, like, if people want to see the first front flip in Finland now, I can show it and just full send it without gear in the t-shirt, and I can't fuck this up because it's my own event.
No way.
I see Sophia crying down of the landing, like, what is he doing now? Like, okay, don't fuck this up, Seb, and just fully send it and perfect. So that was cool to do it in my own event on my home ground. So later I did it on mobile landing and some dirt landings in the shows. But
whoa, there's a lot to unpack there. So you hadn't planned really to do it, or at least Sophia didn't even know you were going to do this?
Actually, no one knew, because I knew there was some kind of argument coming if I told about it.
Oh my God, I thought you meant just the crowd didn't know, but even your girlfriend didn't know. I'm surprised she hasn't killed you.
Not yet.
So, okay, that's one thing. The other thing, did I understand correctly? You had to put on the cheater mechanism. Did you have to bolt this onto the
No, I built the first like prototype I made, which was on this ramp. I made it like with the axle, so I just took it out and put the cheater ramp on place, and then put the axle through it. It was like kind of easy to take it out, and if I didn't want to use the cheater part, then I just put the plywood on it, and it was a normal radius 8 ramp.
Huh. Okay.
So yeah, that's how I actually build the show ramp also, with the same style, but it's like better built.
Wow. So you've got a dual purpose ramp. You can turn up to any show, do a normal show, and then stick the axle through and get the rocker on and make it into a front flip cheater ramp.
Yeah.
Wow. Well done. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, but it's more easy to travel with one ramp if you have to do a front flip in the show or whatever. You just need to pull one ramp with you, and you can use it for the normal show. It takes a while to take out one part and then just put the axle through and have the cheater part there.
Huh. Hey, you have a lot of time up there in Finland in winter to be thinking of the ramp build to make it easier to take a ramp to a show. Oh my God, that is
Yeah, of course. That's the thing. Like I have to be honest that I enjoy most to go shows abroad. Someone brings you the bike. I just do my mechanic stuff to put my parts on. Someone else have built the ramp and landing. I can just ride. That's the life. But back home here, you have to do all the work by yourself. Even had to take my truck license in the start to be able to drive the mobile landing truck.
You can't do shows without your landing, so yeah, you've got to get a truck license. Man, things aren't that easy when you're doing it yourself.
Yeah.
So you've got the front flip down. I know you're not scared to try a double backflip. You've put a lot of videos of that up over the time. Have you done the double to dirt, or is that still just a foam pit trick for now?
I feel like I got it dialed.
Oh, yeah?
So I want to do it when the snow melts, not with the spike tires. This trick I'm not gonna do with spike tires, I promise. Or I don't know. But anyway, let's see.
And will you tell
but I tried it.
Sophia? Will you tell Sophia before you do the double?
I'm not sure actually. Anyway, she will. Let's see when you put out this if she hears it. But yeah. Yes, I bought an airbag. Mainly for the double flip to start doing them on shows for our own landing. So I tried it once at home to the airbag, and I was landing on both wheels, but I guess my rotation was a little bit too fast. So somehow, because I still had the broken right wrist, the scapular ball was broken that season last year. I did the surgery and it's okay already. But so I kind of whiskey throttled in the landing, so then the bike flew like a third flip. But I landed on the wheels, but then I just slipped out from the landing. So it was kind of good, but I just have to finish it.
As bad as it was still good.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm starting.
So in foam pit I got it dialed, and I guess even better now when my hand is like fixed. So yeah. And right now, been 2 months just hitting the gym. So, I feel like even the coronavirus 21 will be the year for sure. Got pretty much shit dialed that year. So I think it will be good.
Man, that's crazy. I'm guessing then you're working on some other tricks, but you're probably not going to tell us here, are you? Or
no, for sure.
Damn it. I thought I was going to get a...
the bad thing is that the foam pit is freezing for the winter, so you can't jump to the foam pit. That's the only bad thing for practicing new stuff. But you can at least ride and keep the riding level like normal. But then in Spain, of course, in the Aides Park is the best place to be, in my opinion. And I got the other bike there. So, and there I got Mark and Navas, both brothers, and everyone riding, and of course meeting a lot of other riders during the winter. So that's good. You can ride with summer tires and hit the foam pit. So I think that's all you need for practicing new stuff.
Yeah,
and you seen they have the new quarter pipe also.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I actually interviewed Navas. He was the first guy I interviewed for this podcast. We were talking about how he has the compound down there in their town of Lleida in Spain, and guys like yourself coming down for that winter time and getting the training in, and how good it is even for them, like for those guys to have you coming, and there's always this new influence and different people riding, and everybody's tricks just go through the roof for that few months.
Yeah, I think everyone has like their own good, like someone does one trick better than the other, even you're on the same level, whatever competing or not, but you can always learn from each other to what's the different styles and stuff like this.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. And that's, I mean, it's always the best way to learn. You watch somebody else, maybe not, it's not competition, but you just want to try and do better. And
yeah.
The things you could do down in Spain, but I guess you're not getting a flight this year at this point. But something that seems to be coming through a lot in what you're saying with riding, you'd go to do this, but you've got a broken leg. You've got a broken wrist. And now you've got a broken shoulder right now. You seem to have a fair few injuries. Is this because you're doing front flips without telling people and, getting ready for X Fighters and you crash on a Flair? What's going on?
It's now and then, but it always sounds more when I say, like, when you're riding or ending the season, riding to the end of the season with some injury. And then I try always to, if it's possible, to end the season good and then do it when it starts to rain and snow. So fix myself.
You time your injuries?
Actually I'm trying to sounds stupid, but I'm trying to time them.
Okay.
Then I lose less time.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, I was always stupid and had my injuries at the worst time, I guess.
I think like mostly of the riders on the world right now would like hope to be injured this year, so they could say that I was injured, I couldn't do any shows or competitions.
Yeah, well, actually, I was just talking to Pat Bowden the other day. He broke I think it was his wrist at the start of the year. Or maybe it was at the end of last year. I can't remember. But basically, he's been 11 months out of action, and he's just
now hitting the biggest jumps again.
Exactly. So this was the year for him to be out of action, and I remember he was pissed at the start of the year that he, was possibly going to miss the World Championships. In the end, he did, but so did everybody else. So it kind of didn't matter.
It was a good time to be injured for sure.
Exactly. So in 2020, we have realized pretty quickly without events, all freestyle riders and anybody in events need to go get a real job because we are lucky in what we do, that we can ride shows and have fun and we can earn a living. But when that all comes to a stop, what if you weren't doing freestyle motocross? What would you be doing in your life? I think you said something about a construction manager. You did.
Yeah, I did actually construction foreman in school in the university. So I got the papers to be the boss of the buildings. But as I'm all in the freestyle, also I'm welding and building everything by myself. When the Corona started, I bought a small apartment to fix it and rent it out. And then also now later, when just before my few months before my shoulder injury, I also bought one other apartment and fixed it. And now I actually sold it a few days ago. So I have been trying to work a little bit on the construction by my own, just to make some cash in case there doesn't come any shows or competitions in the near future. But that has been like a good possibility also during this time. But I guess it has to done some. If it's not in the construction, I guess, and I wouldn't ride or I wouldn't feel like the motivation anymore, I would work with events, I think. But events also has a lot to do with construction. So
yeah, so you're going to stay in events, you think now? You've been doing it for so long as a professional athlete. Probably when you're done, you'll still be in events.
I feel so, because you also learn when you're traveling and doing different events. You see like I said earlier, the good and bad things, and then you just pick, like in a video or social media, you pick the good things and leave out the bad things. So that's kind of easy when you see a lot, from this riding as a professional athlete.
Exactly. The travel side of things, just a quick one off topic. What's your favorite place that you've ever been to, or the favorite place you've ridden a show at?
I think one of the coolest shows has been in Moscow, when we did the same where you also were, when we were rowing. We were like eight riders or something, I think.
Yeah.
Around the world, sled and quad and freestyle motocross. So I think that was one of the coolest, and also that everyone knew each other, was like a big show with a lot of friends. I think that was one of the coolest.
Oh wow, I'm stoked you said that. Actually, I always think like that was so cool that we rode in front of that Olympic Stadium, but in front of that iconic Russian, I think it's the Moscow State University, one of the Seven Sisters buildings, which just looks so iconic for Russia.
Yeah, that's true.
And there we were doing a show. And actually, I remember that event. I think there was supposed to be like a huge event, maybe 30 minutes from Moscow. And it was completely rained out. There was huge.
Yeah, I was actually invited to do speed and style there also. And I know some of the riders, I don't remember, was it Bryce Hudson or who from America. They even flew there.
Sheeny was there also.
Yeah. But nothing happened. So that was a shame. But I think it was the show was organized by the same guys as X Fighters. So it was Tess and the people who was going to do it.
Yeah.
But I think it was a shame that the weather was so shitty.
Yeah, exactly. And we were somehow, we could see the rain all around us in Moscow, but right where we were, we somehow did that show. And that was one of the best shows I'd ever done.
Yeah, it was cool for sure. But shame also the rain, that I guess there was going to be so much more people if we didn't get the rain before.
Yeah, I remember
or near.
It was 20 minutes before the show and there was still nobody even at the event. And then magically, I don't know, I don't even know how many thousands of people just...
Yeah, but Russia it's crazy.
That was awesome. I couldn't believe it. So that was definitely one of those shows that I'll never forget. So it's crazy that you said that too. That was
but there was something with this show. It was cool for sure.
Man, good times. Hopefully we get to go back to Russia again soon. I've been back a couple of times to judge for the FMX Championships. Hopefully you'll be back there riding.
Actually I've been talking, if I don't get to Spain, I can go by car with the coronavirus test. I can go there and get the visa. So I have been planning with the friends from Russia if I could go there to practice with them when my shoulder is okay. So I'm working on pretty many different plans right now to get to ride with summer tires, because they also have a part in south of Russia where it's like ramps and stuff. So I would like to go there if I can't go to Spain.
Oh, down in Cyprus.
Yes, not Cyprus, but in south.
Okay. Okay. I thought they had one there as well. Oh, maybe they do. I know they've got that southern training compound. Man,
it's somewhere near Sochi or somewhere. So
that's awesome, mate. It was awesome to chat to you. I really can't wait to get back on the road and get to some more events with you and just have fun again traveling the world. I love it. I love it. By the sounds of it, you love it too.
Yeah, thanks man for inviting me, and it was super cool to catch up with you for a pretty long chat actually.
Hey, this is a short one. We could have gone a lot longer. Actually, before you go, are you running the Seb Fest in 2021?
Yeah, that will be the 3rd of July next year. So
perfect.
There will happen. And hopefully we get all the guys from abroad also. This year was a Finnish fest, but we used to have riders from everywhere. So let's see. Maybe you're coming with Rachel.
Yeah,
so we can chat live.
I would love to jump in the van and do a hell of a road trip up to just come to Finland and do all the Scandinavian countries. So I've got a whole bunch of timber that I got from Night of the Jumps from their storage, actually. So I'll try and fit out the van, make it into a bit of a camper and jump in. Actually, the funny thing was that now things are starting to come back to me that we were talking about Russia. When I rode with you at that show, that Adrenaline Rush show, that was the second time I drove to Russia. And I think in that year, I drove 120,000 kilometers, twice to Russia, like 10 times to England and all around Europe. And it was awesome. I loved it. And I thought...
Not that bad.
I love driving. And we had a pretty crappy Volkswagen T5 van. And I could start to feel the clutch was going. I'd probably done 250 or a bit more, 1,000 kilometers. And so... I bought a brand new Ford Transit custom van. I don't think I'd ever bought a brand new car before. And I basically did it because if I'm driving back to Russia, I want to go back there in comfort because it's a long drive from Germany to there. I think it's like 35, 40 hours, something like that driving. So, I guess I probably won't be doing that for shows anymore, but I would love to just fit out that van, make it into a bit of a camper, and I'll come up and see you in Finland instead in what was it, July 3rd for the next...
Yeah, sure. Yeah, the first weekend.
Perfect. Right. That's my goal. I am going to get out of the apartment or out of the house. I'm going to build my camper. I'm going to come up and see you guys there.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Thank you very much, man. And good luck with Street Bike or Dirt Bike versus Street Bike 4. Sounds like it'll be another big one.
Yeah, hopefully people will find it out there, and I get back to ride, not just watching the views on YouTube.
Awesome. Thank you very much, mate. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, thanks, man. Hear you soon. Cheers.
Thanks so much to the Finnish rider, Sebastian Westberg, for taking the time to talk to us about everything in freestyle motocross that he's learnt up until this point and where he's going into the future. And from one Finn to another, it's my man, Antti from Lakes Networking, who I met when he was working at the office in Australia with Papa Jace and the team. He's moved back to his motherland of Finland and has almost finished designing my new website for this very podcast. And to be honest, I didn't think when I first started this podcast series that I would even bother with a website. I have access to make it happen. That's not a problem. But I didn't really see the need to use up resources on building it. Like, why would I need to? But the more I've learnt by talking with guys like Seb about how YouTube works and other writers or industry folk on their experiences with social media and its link to websites and the link between all of them, I figured, you know what? I need to do all the right things if this Riders Lounge podcast can grow and bring more fans of motocross and freestyle and action sports into our orbit. I'm just doing this for fun, but I do have the tools to create this series from my real work in voiceovers and TV hosting, which is so cool, but why not make it more visible to everyone and build the community around it? And one way that Rodhouse wanted to help the series to build and to grow, which is I absolutely love them for, was helping with this promotion of free beer. And I mean, that's awesome at any time to get free beer, but the giveaway of the mini kegs once we hit the 1,000 followers on Instagram, which I truly appreciate. And we're almost there. So if you jump on now, you'll probably still just have a chance to win some free beer. And I'll put the link directly to that promotion in the show description. And actually, I do want to say a big thanks to the mysterious entity that is FMX Funnies, who have been making some awesome FMX related memes on Insta lately, but also making a couple for the guests on this show, such as Levi and now Seb Westberg. Whoever's running that page is doing a bang up job, so I recommend you check that out for a laugh and see which other riders they'll take the piss out of next. Thank you to my sponsors, Spect Eyewear, with the comfiest goggles I've ever worn, or at least that I remember wearing because I'm just an old man. And I also want to thank Custom MX, Motorex Oils, GB Orthopedics, DEP Pipes, TCX Boots, and Race FX. And to finish off the thank you notes, I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in, who have sent in your messages, who have asked questions, and have shared the podcast. I really appreciate it, and it's helped it grow already so much until this point. So thank you very much, and we'll see you again next time on the Riders Lounge podcast.